Hi guys, welcome to this video. We are going to be finally doing the video where I show you guys how I learn my K-pop dances. The dance that I will be learning today is Next Level by aespa, and I'll be giving you guys an actual demonstration. Just a disclaimer though, I do actually learn in my house. I never learn in the studio. Okay, now before you do anything, before you get up to start dancing, I always say this, you guys are probably so sick of me saying this over and over again, but it's so important to watch the dance practice or the fan cam, whatever it is. Make sure you're watching the mirrored one on repeat many times, either the night before you're about to learn or like a few hours before you're about to learn, but I strongly recommend the night before. I will watch the whole dance about 2 times first, maybe 3. Then after you've watched it about 2 or 3 times, you want to start making a note of the different sections that you will have to learn, and for each section you want to write down which member you pretty much think you're going to be following majority of that time. Now the next few times you continue to watch the dance practice on repeat, focus on the member that you have written down on your phone to follow for each section. Make sure you're focused, don't be doing something else and watching, because you want to be completely focused on the moves and try to like imitate the moves in your mind. As you keep doing this, you're strengthening your memory of the dance, like visually what it looks like. When you actually get up to start learning, you obviously want to stretch. I'm going to stretch now and play the music through as I'm stretching. That's what I normally do at home. Okay, so the part that we're going to start on today is the minute Karina says, "I'm on the next level." So they're standing completely still in this part, and then those are the first few moves. So you would be able to see at this part that those moves go with the lyrics, so that's how you would associate those moves. I'm on that's the lyrics. What I normally do is on the first move, I pause it. So I see that she's bent her knees and then put her right arm in front. Then the other side, I would just keep pausing it like this. So I watch it like a few times and then I would do it myself. You will see me often with the video paused and I try and attempt the move that I just saw on the screen, doing it myself. Then I will go all the way from the beginning of the part without any music and add all of the moves together. So now again, I go all the way from the beginning with the video playing and the music playing, and then I go through just as much as I've learned. So you're going to see right here, when I'm trying to understand a move, I do lots of pausing at each position, and it's kind of like I'm taking a photograph of each position in my mind. If there's a certain body part that I need to know exactly which direction it's moving, I just completely focus on that section. Then I will look at the top half, which is here, to see where the hand's going. So it just goes in front of the face. So then I have to remember, okay, hips circle to the back, but hand goes in front of the face. Then I try to do it myself. So now this is me trying to attempt that move with the music slowly. And now I'm doing it without the music, just to make sure that the move properly sticks in my head, and I'm just focusing on looking at my reflection in the mirror to make sure I'm doing it right. So I repeat these steps, and this is just a time lapse of me doing it for the rest of the part. I memorize a few steps, do it without the music, and then I try to add it in with the music from the beginning. So once I have learned all the moves, I will then go through the entire part at 60% speed. 60% speed is what I've chosen to be my sort of learning speed. I've talked about this in my other video about how I learn K-pop dances. After 60%, I'll increase my speed by 10%, so I'll be on 70% speed now. This is often the speed that I like to practice at most of the time. After I get it right without any mistakes at 70% speed, I go straight onto 80% speed. 80% is what I've chosen to be the speed that I'm satisfied with if I get it correct to move on to the next section. I never try to do anything at 100% speed on the first day of learning, because I'm not trying to be perfect on the first day. Now I have moved on to verse 2. This is just a time lapse of me learning the routine with the exact same steps that I followed before. So looking at a few moves, memorizing what it looks like, trying it myself in the mirror without any music, and then adding the music and trying to do it. So you will see as I'm practicing with the slow speed, my moves are not 100% smooth or clean. It's actually kind of rough the way I'm dancing right now. Whenever I make mistakes, as I did in the clip just here, I will turn off the dance practice and pause it, and I'll try to do the part without any music. This allows me to go at my own pace and to fix mistakes without me having that pressure of the music being on. So I have finished section 1 and section 2. So as you can see guys in that footage, like some of it is like really rough when you first start learning. That's completely fine. Remember that you don't need to be perfect straight away. All I want to learn is the steps. I am not concentrating on facial expressions and all those types of things yet. I'm not focusing much on power. You don't want to over dance on the day that you're learning because you want to have enough energy to finish the song. So now we are on the pre-chorus of the song, and again I'm following the same steps, but you're going to see in this next move I spend absolutely forever on this part. I'm pretty sure I spent a solid 5 minutes on this one move, so I actually sat down just to focus on the hand movements. I don't know why it was confusing me so much. I want to show you guys footage of me actually struggling so you can see that sometimes there are just moves that I don't get. You don't want to become obsessive over a part just as I'm doing right here, because obsession can lead to frustration. I'm trying too hard to make the move look perfect, but I shouldn't really be focusing on perfecting it right now.
I don't know why that took me so long to understand. My wrist literally hurt so much from doing that, and it wasn't even that hard.
If there's ever times where there's moves that you just really don't understand, if it's frustrating you or making you want to give up, I strongly suggest to move on and try again the next day. This is your reminder guys to stay hydrated always. It's very important to keep drinking water during the process of learning. So now I'm just finishing off the pre-chorus and doing it without any music just to make sure the moves are in my mind properly. And I know it can be very frustrating to keep making mistakes even though you're dancing at a very slow speed. It can be a bit discouraging to keep making mistakes. Again, keep pausing the music whenever you make a mistake on a certain move. It removes that pressure of the music being on and distracting you. And now we are moving on to the chorus section of the song. So I spent the majority of the beginning while learning this part on the floor, just learning the hand movements, sitting down, because the chorus was kind of confusing to do the hands and the legs at the same time. You can kind of see right now I'm getting really confused and doing the moves over and over again because I'm trying to solidify it in my mind. Yeah, whenever you come across any complicated moves or things you don't understand, isolate the arms from the legs and then try and do it that way. I just want to give some useful tips that you guys can take away with you. One of my biggest tips is if you seriously can't do a move properly or you keep messing up, just ditch the music for a second. Turn off the music, turn off the dance practice and pause it and try to do it yourself. Just that one move on repeat for a few times. My second tip is to modify the moves if anything is causing you any like severe pain or discomfort whilst you're learning, or maybe you're like quite young and you don't want to be doing a particular move so you want to do a different move instead, or you don't want to go onto the floor because you have weak knees. Just because the K-pop idols are doing it doesn't necessarily mean that you physically can do it as well. Remember, they've had training. I believe ITZY originally in their In the Morning choreography, they were all supposed to go down to the floor, but I believe that Che and Leah, like, they have really bad knees or weak knees, so that's why they were the only two standing up and the rest of the members went down to the floor. My next tip is to record yourself, especially if you're a beginner and especially if you don't have a mirror as well. When I first started dancing to K-pop, I used to film myself so I knew how to improve on the next day. I also used to make comparison videos. I have a video that I have up on how to make comparison videos using iMovie on the computer. Comparison videos can be really helpful in helping you notice what you might be doing a little bit different compared to the idols. You're not going to look 100% like them, as I always say in my videos, but recording yourself can make you realize that maybe you can execute the move in a different way to look less awkward, or if you put too much power into a certain move that you don't necessarily need need to, or if you're actually lacking energy in a certain move. I know that lots of people feel embarrassed by even watching their own footage, but think of it like you're filming your progress and your journey basically, and it's kind of the same concept when people take before photos when they're trying to get fit and things like that. It's the same concept. And don't be discouraged, especially if you're filming yourself on the first day, because no one is that good on the first day unless you've had years and years of practice. One of my biggest tips that I really hope that a lot of you take away from this video is do not focus on too much on the first day. Just simply focus on the moves and getting the moves down at a good standard. Like, it doesn't need to be perfect on the first day. If you try to master the dance at 100% speed, plus add in the facial expressions, plus add in the energy at the right time, and try and do all of them on the first day, that will just lead to you being stressed and frustrated, and you'll want to give up more easily. Just focus on getting the moves down to a good standard, and even if it's not at 100% speed, it's fine. Once you go to sleep that night and you've done it at 80% speed, when you wake up the next day, your body has remembered those moves down to muscle memory and things like that. When you actually go to practice it again, your body's gonna feel like it knows these moves quite well, better than you did the day before. It's a really strange feeling. Sometimes I wake up the next day and my body just feels like it's moving on its own, like it knows what it's doing. I'm not even thinking about it, because sleep really helps like the next day. So I'm happy with what I was able to learn today. I have learned intro to the chorus at 80% speed. After I have learned the whole dance, on the second day, it will all be about cleaning up my moves and trying to get it down at 100% speed. Okay, so I hope that video helped. I'm sorry if it's very similar to the first one that I made last year. General idea of how I learn dances is quite straightforward. Lots and lots of repetition, lots of pausing, lots of going back. I also verbally say out the moves out loud just to help me. You can also sing the song out loud, say the lyrics, make sounds out loud that match the moves to help you remember that move goes on that sound. Thank you guys for watching this video. I will be teaching next level next week. As soon as it's uploaded, I'll put it on the screen right now to end the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.